Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for stopping in today. I'm back with a new layout and video for Shimmerz paints, and I'm going to be using all white cardstock to make my layout today. And I was inspired by this floral die. I just got my hands on this. It's from Sizzix, and it's called Peony Pop-Up, and I'll link it down below, but it's got this really beautiful flower and a couple of leaves that go with it, and it's just so pretty, and I cannot wait to color these flowers using some beautiful shimmers. So that is where I'm going to begin, and I've got a sheet of just plain old white textured cardstock here, and I'm going to go ahead and coat all of it with some clear gesso. And then when this dries, this is what I'm going to use to die cut all of these flowers and leaves from. And so the gesso is just going to prep the paper, so later when I go to paint the flowers, the colors will be able to run and blend together and just create this really pretty watercolor effect on the flowers. So I've pulled out my colors there, and I was playing around ahead of time trying to come up with my color scheme, and this is just my little practice notebook where I test colors. And I wanted to use some colors that I hadn't used in a long time, or colors that I hadn't ever used, and I wanted to use some purple. I was just feeling some purple vibes. So I pulled out all of these colors here, and I'm going to tell you what they all are. These are all Inklingz, and some of these are so pretty. I mean, they're all pretty, don't get me wrong, but some of them are extra special because they have gold shimmer mixed in with those, and I'm gonna let you know about all of these. And the fun thing about Inklingz and also Creamies is that they are on sale through this Sunday, August the 30th. When you go to shop and you check out, if you type in the promo code PAINTS25, you can get 25% off all Inklingz, all Creamies. So all the colors that I'm using today, you can get 25% off, and it's PAINTS25, paints with a Z, like Shimmerz. It'll be PAINTS25. Anyway, I'll link that down below so you can check that out if you want to do some shopping this weekend. So this is my little manual die cutting machine here, and I cut that cardstock into little strips so it would fit through my machine, and instantly you got these really cool, very dimensional flowers. And a couple weeks ago I saw Jennifer McMurtry, who's another awesome scrapbooker that I follow. She created a layout using this die set, and I saw it and thought, oh, I need that in my life. So I messaged her and said, where did you get it? And she told me, and I'll link it down below. I got it from scrapbook.com. But yeah, it's a really pretty die set, and it's basically going to cover my whole layout today. So I love when one thing inspires an entire layout. It's just so much fun. And I really love making layouts from scratch. That's what I call a layout, when I just start with white cardstock and basically just use all shimmers to make it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is just basically start painting these flowers. And like I said, I've already got them covered with gesso. So that means I can add water, I can add lots of the colors, and they're not just going to soak right through the cardstock. So these purple colors that I'm using, all Inklingz, all available in the store. I'm using Precious Posey, which was the very first purple that I used. The darker color that I added to it is called Imperial Amethyst, and it's a darker purple. And I love mixing the colors together because you get the most beautiful blends, and sometimes you just create brand new colors, and it gives you beautiful lights and darks, and it's just so much fun. So I can never use just one color. I have to do mixing and matching. It's just my thing. This color is called Blue Lagoon. Very pretty aqua turquoise-ish color. And I'm just using one of my silhouette covers for the sticky mat here. This mat is on its way out. It's not sticky anymore, so I like to use the mats before I toss them out. Okay, this color here is one of the special colors I was talking about. I don't use it enough. It is gorgeous. It's called Blew My Mind. And it is not only this beautiful light blue color, but the powder that's in the paint is gold. And when it dries, I'm going to show you all these up close when they dry, but the color, you can see the blue, but it's got this gorgeous gold in it. It's so pretty. This is another one that's got gold mixed in it. This is called Garnet. And when I first saw this color in the store, I thought, I'm not a huge red fan. I don't think I want that color. But I got it anyway, and don't let the name fool you. It's more of a pink color. It is so pretty. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it dry with the gold shimmer in it. It's just like, wow. I mean, this layout is going to be ultra shimmery once it's finished. Mixing in a little bit of the purple, not purple, precious Posey with that one. Again, like I said, mixing and matching the colors are just fun. And I'm flipping the flowers over and trying to dab up some of the paint that's on the mat because I don't want to waste any of it. I'm just I think I cut 8 flowers, and I'm trying to do 2 pinks, 2 blues, 2 of the Blew My Mind, and then a couple of the purple, a couple of different shades of the purple. And so, you know, all of these flowers this far are still wet. When they dry, I can go back in and add more layers or mix another color in with it. And, you know, like I said before, get different shades. What other colors am I using? Oh, there's another purple there. I forgot to mention Honeymoon. That's a 3rd purple. So I pulled out 3 purples. Honeymoon is another one. I just recently got it, and I've been on the Shimmerz team for I think this is my 6th year. And that's still a new color that I've never used. And it's not a brand new color. It's just new to me. So it's fun to branch out and try new colors that you've never tried, and then mixing them and coming up with your own color schemes like this. Okay, so I let those dry. I kept working on them. I didn't want to film this entire process because it's going to take me forever. But I also painted the inside pieces of the flowers. But these are almost dry, but you can see the gold shimmer. Look at the gold shimmer in that. It's so beautiful. All of these are shimmery. Like I said, Inklingz are beautiful paints that when they dry, they give you the prettiest shimmer. That's just the best word to describe it, is shimmer. They're not sparkly like glitter, like the original Shimmerz. They have more of a glittery finish. The Inklingz are just this really pretty shimmer. Okay, that's just the best word to use for that. Now, okay, I pulled out some greens to paint the leaves, and I'll tell you these colors. However, in the finished layout, I do not wind up using any of the leaves. I just felt like I didn't need them. But these 4 colors that I'm using are Olive You Truly, which is which one is that? I think it's the 3rd one right there. I think that one's Olive You Truly. Emerald City is another one. The bright green, that one right there that I'm using, is called Honey-Do List, and it's more of a limey green color. And then I used I'm Not Limon, and I'm Not Limon is another one that has the gold powder mixed into it right here. So it's green, but it's also gold. And when it dries, like I keep saying, like I said, sorry I keep repeating myself. I just get excited when I'm talking about colors that I like. I'll show you all of these up close once they are completely dry, and you will see what I'm talking about with the shimmer. And my mat needs a bath. Look at it. It's quite dirty. I know if you are a neat freak, you're probably cringing at how messy this is, but I just got into my zone and kept going. All right, I let everything dry. Now let's look at these. Look at the gold. Do you see the gold? It's pink, but it's gold. That's the Gosh Garnet. This is the Blew My Mind. It's blue, but it's gold. So pretty. And then this is one without gold, but it's still, you see what I'm talking about with the shimmer factor. That one is the Blew My Mind. There's one of the green leaves with the I'm Not Limon. You can see the gold in that as well. And the leaves turned out beautiful. There's my picture, another cute selfie. That was actually from several years ago, but it was just too cute not to scrap. I just felt like the flowers were so big and I had so many of them, and I did not want to leave any of them off the page. I felt like if I added all the leaves that it would just be overkill. It would be too much. So I'm going to save the leaves for something else, but I didn't want to not show you the process and those beautiful colors. So we're going back to white cardstock. This is thick, smooth white cardstock. Same gesso, clear gesso here. And if I never mention that, I always get questions. So I'm going to mention I'm using the Finnabair Art Basics clear gesso, and it's very smooth. It's awesome. I love it. Okay, so what I thought I would do is I never make a purple background. So I thought, you know what? That's what we're going to do today. So I thought I would just start out by creating a color wash. And my idea of a color wash is just simply this. Putting down a little bit of color, spritzing it with water, and then just turning the page this way and that way and letting the color just run all over the place. So it looks very smooth. It looks very flowy. It doesn't look like you just brush stroked it on there like I did in the very beginning. I'm not a huge fan of brush strokes unless I am intentionally making a brush stroke effect. I like it to look kind of faded and hazy and lighter around the edges, kind of like it looks right here. And this is just kind of doing its own thing, you know. I'm not really sure where it's going to wind up. It's going to go from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. And I just like to use my brush as I'm tilting the paper to help it run. I mean, it's kind of doing it itself. You see, you can do this. You can definitely do this. This does not take skill. It just takes your willingness to get a little messy and be a little patient, because I do have to come back with layers and layers, because the more water I add, the lighter it's going to get. And I want it to get to a certain color. This is all going to be visible behind all of the flowers and the photo. And yeah, so here I come back in with some pink. This is the Gosh Garnet color. I'm going to add in just a little bit of that. I don't want this background to turn out pink. I want the main color to be purple, but I want to add in different shades of purple. So it's okay if there's a hint of pink in a spot or a hint of the blue. I'm not going to pull in any other brand new colors at this point. I'm just going to use the colors that I have and make them work. And the gesso, I know I say this in a lot of my videos, but I swear by it. Okay, now hold on, hold that thought. This is what it looks like when it's kind of dry. I like that, but it's not done. You can see how the paint has kind of pooled there where the page is warped. We're going to keep working on it. Going back to what I was saying, the reason that all that paint and water is able to flow all around the page like that is because of the gesso. The gesso acts as a barrier between all this paint, all this water, and the paper. It's not going to just soak right through. Now, after I leave it for a while, you can see how it looks when it dries. So it eventually will dry, and I could come back in and reactivate it with water, but it's still going to have the shape of the outline of it of where it's dried. It's not going to fully reactivate and completely change shape, but I have a lot of time to work with it in the meantime before it dries. And I'm also adding a lot of water, so it's going to take a long time for that little spot there in the middle to dry. And I don't want it to dry looking like that. I want it to look spread around. So you have to kind of just work at it a lot before it dries, you know, and eventually I get too much water, so I have to dab some of it up and just keep turning it. I do bring out my heat gun off camera and kind of dry it quicker, and you get a different effect when you use a heat gun versus when you let it dry by itself. But, you know, sometimes I don't have hours and hours and hours to just let it dry naturally, and I spend way too much time on my backgrounds as is. So yeah, that's what we've got so far. Look at the shimmer. Oh, yes. Yes. Sorry, shimmer excites me. And I'm just showing you here how my paper is warped, because a lot of questions I get revolve around, how do you make these layouts without your paper warping? I don't. It does warp. I let it dry. See, once this is completely dry and I may get these flowers glued down, I'm going to leave it alone for the rest of the day, and I'm going to put a big heavy paper pad on top of it overnight, and I'm going to let it flatten out. And it's not going to flatten out 100%, but it's going to be a lot better than it is now. So that's my secret to flattening papers out. And over time, when I set it aside, it will curl back up, and that's okay. It happens. But when you put it in your albums, it eventually will, you know, it's going to be in the little page protectors, so it's going to be forced to kind of flatten out. And this is going to be a dimensional layout, so it is going to eventually get flattened. You know, all these flowers that are popping up off the page there, yes, they're going to go flat when you put them in a page protector. And that's just the nature of it. It's okay. You know, if somebody asks, hey, why are these flowers flat? You can just say, wait a minute, let me pull this out and we'll fluff them back up. And there you go. You know, I mean, if anybody complains about your flat layout that was once dimensional, then are they even a scrapbooker? Probably not. You know, scrapbooker struggles. The dimension will get flattened, and it's okay. And if you don't want it to ever get flattened, I say hang it on your wall, you know, make it a piece of art. Don't put it in an album. Anyway, I digress. What am I doing? I'm going to put all of the little centerpieces that come with that die set in the middle of the flowers. There's a little, it almost looks like a little star piece and then a circle. But I'm going to not use the circle. I'm going to do some other details later. And I like how you can see the background around the flowers. You know, I love that purple color and I love this color scheme. I think it turned out really pretty. So the flowers are all curled up. It's one thing that attracted me to this die set was the dimension factor. You know, you can easily pop up those petals and then those little bitty pieces on the around the middle. Get lots of dimension and texture with these. So I'm going to glue all of these down. I like how they're kind of cascading down the page, and then I put that one purple one kind of over to the side, and that's going to link my title once I add that. All right, I'm going to get all of these glued down, and I like where the photo is. I am going to come in with some thread. Usually I add the thread before I glue things down, but I only glued down the center part of the flowers, and so I have all this space under the petals to tuck things in, so I felt like that would be easy to do. And I have the matching colors for the dark purple, which I'm going to use right there underneath the blue flowers, and then I have a darker color that matches that blue Lagoon color really nicely, and then I have a light minty color that matches the Blue My Mind flowers. And I did not have that dark pink color, but I felt like it was okay. I just felt like I didn't really need it. I felt like what I have added, you know, at the point of all the thread being done, I felt like that was plenty. Glue down the flower. Not the flower, the photo. And I did add some white tissue paper behind it and some adhesive to pop it up. Now these are some things that you can also get in the Shimmerz store. These are exclusive to Shimmerz. They're called dots. I haven't used them in quite a while, but they are like little epoxy circle embellishments. And there are a ton of designs in the Shimmerz store. My favorite ones are the general ones that have words or hearts or things that you can use on any type of layout. And so I'm going to use two today, and I'll link those below. One says together and one says delightful. And I like that they're white. They kind of just add this fun little detail in a couple of places. I added the mint color of thread underneath that purple flower. And I tried to go with gold as my title. These are some Amy Tan stickers, but I just thought it was too much. It was like shimmery, sparkly overkill. So I decided to not use that. Lucky. Just too much, too much. I mean, I love me some shimmer and some glitter. However, there is a such thing as too much, maybe? Is that against scrapbooking law to say that? Because I love shimmer and I love glitter. Big time. But I do use a couple of these gold glitter hearts, though. These are in small doses, so it's not, you know, so shiny that you need some sunglasses. So I'm going to put 4 little flowers. Why do I keep saying flowers? Hearts in a couple of spaces. And then, yeah, I'm going to use a white title, and I could not get it off the thing. It was very sticky. I ripped the S. It's very, very sticky. This one just says sweet. So I thought, you know, that's the exact same size of word that I feel like will stick right there, because I wanted it to look kind of like a little bit of an arc, and that sweet word was perfect. So I'm going to tuck it kind of in the flowers, reconnect it, even though I broke it. And I like that it's kind of white on white, but it's still enough to where you can read it, and it's not a color that's going to just stand out and take away from the flowers or the photo. I've used this on several layouts over the years. This is a Me and My Big Ideas gold sticker book that I got at Michael's forever ago, and it's this like a matte gold sticker book. Tons of things in there, and I thought Smiles was perfect. It's the perfect size. I like that it's a more of a block font, and it mixes and matches with the scripty suite perfectly, and it gives a pop of gold without being too much. And then a couple of other stickers from here. This one says follow your heart. I'm just gonna cut it so I can stack it down here around the flowers. I'm gonna play around with that and get the placement just so. And I'm gonna use another one up at the top right, so I have little pops of gold going all over the place. Since some of those flowers have gold hints in them, I felt like adding a little bit more gold around the page was perfect. This one says be joyful. I love clear stickers like this. They look like stamps. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do to jazz up the flowers. These are from Pink Fresh Studio. These are the Essentials Jewels Mix, and I've used these several times on my Pink Fresh Studio layouts. These are perfect for centers of flowers. I'm using the largest size, and I have purple, 2 shades of blue, and a pink, and they look perfect on these flowers. And then I go even more and I add more around because I could just not stop doing it. So I use all the colors to add basically just little random splatters of these jewels. They're so perfect for adding those little blingy details that we all love on layouts. Almost done. The last thing I'm going to do is add my journaling, and my trusty lovely gold metallic pen is almost out of ink, and of course I cannot find it anywhere, so I had to buy a couple of different off-brand ones, and I tried to use one of the new ones and it was so brassy gold it did not match, so I tried to go over it with my older pen and see if it would. Anyway, you can't really read the journaling, but you know what, it's done, it's okay. That's the final layout. I love how this turned out. I'm obsessed with those flowers. I'm obsessed with the colors and the shimmer. I've got a ton of close-ups, so you'll be able to see all these colors up close, and you can see how they look in different lighting. You know, the shimmer looks one way in one light and different in another light. You can see the gold there in that gosh garnet pink flower. The purple is just so pretty and deep. That Imperial Amethyst is a really beautiful color. And the Blue My Mind is just, it's one of those magical colors. When you look at it, there it is. When you look at it, when it's not mixed up in the pot, it almost looks green. I remember the first time I got that color, I thought, this is not even right. But once I mixed it up and used it, I thought, oh, that's what this color is. Yeah, there's more of the gold and in that pink color. Anyway, check the link down below. Shop this weekend. All Inklingz, which is what all I use today, and Creamies, 25% off. Paints 25 is the code. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in my next video.